Well, this week we've had our first major snowstorm here in the Pittsburgh area, western Pennsylvania. It wasn't really that bad, but nevertheless, you probably at this point don't want to hear too much about snow. But I want to share some things with you about snowflakes. They are indeed amazing creations. But first of all, before we get into that any further, let me just say hi and welcome once again to another Heart to Heart Talk with me. I'm John Kuert, the interim pastor at Alpha Assembly in Clarion, Pennsylvania, and I appreciate the opportunity to come to where you are via these little messages that come from my heart to your heart, and I hope that they are a blessing to you and are uplifting and at least thought provocative. So let's get into it here. You know, snowflakes really are fascinating. They come in all different shapes and sizes. Some appear as delicate lace doilies, as shining stars. Others have different similarities, but each snowflake has 6 points, and it's made up of molecules of hydrogen and oxygen and is symmetrical in shape. But did you know that the ice that makes a snowflake collects around a particle of dust floating in the atmosphere? The tiny imperfection may be as small as 1/100,000th of a millimeter in size, but it has to exist for a snowflake to form. In the same way, imperfections in life can often be the catalysts that cause something wonderful and beautiful to happen to us. A foreign invader that crashes into our lives, maybe it's a sickness, terminal illness, maybe it's an accident, maybe it's a heartbreak, maybe it's a financial disaster, maybe it's a relationship problem. But anyway, these problems, these what I call foreign invaders, come in to our lives. They can actually turn into a source of blessing. You know, as it says in Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 11, He has made everything beautiful in its time. So think about it this way. When you encounter obstacles in life, remember that they give you, as a believer, the chance to let God make something wonderful happen. If you're struggling with a difficult situation in your life, seek the Lord. Wait for Him to create from it a beautiful blessing. And I promise, if you're really looking for it, He will do exactly that. That's the way He is, and that's what He can do. God can take our difficulties and transform them into victories so that we can become more than conquerors. I often think about that little phrase where it says in the scriptures, we are more than conquerors. Well, how if you're a conqueror, you're a conqueror. If you win a football game, you're the winner, whether you won it by 1 point or whether you had 80 points against your opponent. So what does it mean to be more than a conqueror? It means that God can take the defeats in our lives and actually turn them into victories. And that's what it means when it says all things work together for good to them that love God and are called according to His purposes. So let God do His work, just like He has done this in creation since the beginning of time. When a snowflake is formed, it's because of some foreign particle of dust floating in the atmosphere. It's not very beautiful or not very useful, but out of that comes this beautiful little snowflake that eventually piles up that we have to shovel. Well, we'll stop it right there. And let me just say thanks again for joining me for another heart to heart talk. And I hope that this little message today helps you in whatever you're going through. And you know what? As I think about it, I remember a book that I read, and the opening chapter or verse or line was, "Be kind to everyone because everybody's fighting a battle." And it's true. In some way or another, all of us are fighting a battle. But you know what? We can be more than conquerors through Christ who loved us. Well, thanks again for joining me for another heart to heart talk. And I pray that you'll have a great day. Come by and visit us sometime at Alpha Assembly. We'd be delighted to see you. And we think that you'll be blessed when you come. God bless. Bye-bye.